Hey, hockey fans, how's everybody doing? Some history made here again on Saturday. Florida, they suffered their first loss at home at the hands of the Seattle Kraken. Some other crazy hockey, too. I mean, Pittsburgh being doubled up by Montreal. Well, we knew Winnipeg was going to snap their little skid they were on, but against Calgary, a very hot team right now, they got doubled up 4-2. It was one of those nights where some of my bets didn't go through, but I wasn't upset because I wasn't upset that Winnipeg beat Calgary. But, I obviously bet on Calgary, so that would have been nice if I bet on Winnipeg, but I didn't. Anyway, wasn't that great. As far as my picks went, my over 6, Nashville, Colorado, that hit. Dallas hit. Florida did not, so that parlay didn't hit. Calgary and Columbus, neither one of those hit. And Pittsburgh, like I mentioned, got doubled up by Montreal. So as far as hitting bets, it wasn't that great of a day. So we're going to try to end the week Sunday here off with some better picks, and we'll see how it goes. There was supposed to be 7 games on the slate, but there's only 6 for Sunday, November 28, 2021. New York Islanders have had a couple games postponed now due to COVID concerns. So we've only got 6, so we'll get through them and make some picks. East Metropolitan Division matchup here. Numbers 1 and 2, top tier teams. Washington and Carolina. Carolina has Frederick Anderson listed to be in net. They're 6-3-1 in their last 10, current 1-game winning streak. Washington has Vitek Vanacek listed to be in net. They're 8-1-1, current 2-game winning streak. Both teams sit atop the division with 31 points apiece. Carolina ended their road trip a little back in form, 6-3 win over Philadelphia on Friday. They outshot the Flyers 36-23. They did fail to convert. They had 4 power play opportunities, but they couldn't get a goal with the man advantage. And then they also gave a shorthanded goal up. So a couple concerns, but all in all, definitely a nice win for Carolina. Penalty kill, has been really good. Second place in the league at 87.8%. Also second in goals against. Frederick Anderson, he's listed for this game, and he brings in a record 11-3-0 coming into this one. The Canes, they have a nice home record too. They've only had 1 regulation loss. They're 6-1-0 at home. Washington, though, also off an impressive 4-3 win over Florida. Ovechkin with a hat trick, 2 goals when it was 5-on-5 play and a power play goal. Tom Wilson with a shorthanded goal. Ovechkin with 10 points in his last 5, 6 of those points being goals, 36 points on the season, 21 games played. He's just having an amazing year. Caps with the strong goals against. They've had good goaltending as well. They're 4th in the league. This is a first of 4 games between these two clubs. Matinee game here. Money line plus 135 for Washington or 2.35. Minus 155 for Carolina or 1.64. I know public money is going to be on Carolina here, but I don't know. There's something going on with Washington, and they're playing incredibly well. Ovechkin, obviously on fire, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them come in here, and I kind of like the value at plus 135 or 2.35 for a visiting dog, and that dog being Washington. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with Washington to win the game for my first pick. Second one, Tampa against Minnesota. Minnesota has Cam Talbot listed to be in net. They're 6-3-1, current 2-game winning streak. Tampa has Andre Vasilevsky listed to be in net. They're 7-1-2 with a current 3-game winning streak. The Wild are in sole position of first place in the Central Division. Their last game was a dominating 7-1 win over the Winnipeg Jets. This homestead continues with this matinee matchup here. The Wild have won 10 of 14 games between these two clubs at the XL Energy Center. They are going to be without their captain, Spurgeon. He's still out. And then Matt Zuccarello, we're not sure yet, going to be a game-time decision. He was slashed pretty hard in that Winnipeg game, caused him to go out of the game. Coach Evanson said he could have came back in, but he didn't. And then the next day of practice, maybe it's a little more serious. So it's going to be a game-time decision. If he's not in the lineup, he'll definitely be missed. Tampa is also trending in a positive direction, though, winning the last 3 games that they played, a 3-0 blanking over the Seattle Kraken for their last game. Vasilevsky, he notched his second straight shootout. Only 1 regulation loss in the last 10 games for this Tampa team. But they're going to be without Braden Point. They're still going to be without Kucherov. This will be the second and the last game between these two clubs as far as regular season play goes. A week ago, November 21st, teams met in Tampa. The game was decided in a shootout. It was 5-4 final for Tampa. Moneyline has Tampa at minus 105 or 1.95. Minnesota at minus 115 or 1.86. Bit of a coin flip game, over under set at 5.5. I'm going to go with the favorite here, home team Minnesota to win the game. Next one, San Jose against Chicago. Chicago has Marc-Andre Fleury listed to be in net. They're 6-4-0 in their last 10, current one-game winning streak. San Jose has James Reimer confirmed to be in net. They're 4-5-1 with a current one-game losing streak. Friday, the Hawks played some scrappy hockey. They rallied back and pushed and fought and won that game against St. Louis. Pushed it into extra time and won in overtime. 3-2 final for the Hawks. They were down 2-0 after the first, and after that it was Chicago fighting to win that game, and they deserved to win the game the way they played. It was awesome. To break it with the overtime winner, he's also leading the club right now with 5 points, 4 of those being goals in his last 5 games. Marc-Andre Fleury, he's won 4 of his last 5 starts, playing much better than what he did out of the gate this year. So it's nice to see. The Sharks, they played Friday when they lost 4-1 to Toronto. San Jose was 0-for-3 on their power play. Their only goal was by Nick Bonino. That was in the first period. After that, it was all Toronto. San Jose's been finding goals hard to come by. Before Toronto, they had that one game where they beat Ottawa 6-3. But other than that, for the last 10 games, it's like been one goal here. A couple times, I think they might have got a couple goals. But they're definitely having a tough time finding the back of the net. This is the first of 3 games between these two. Money line plus 105 for the Sharks. 2.05. Chicago minus 125 or 1.8, over under set at 5.5. I'm going to go another home favorite here, Chicago, to beat San Jose. That's going to be my third pick. Fourth one, Vancouver against Boston. Boston has Linus Ullmark confirmed to be in net. They're 6-4-0 in their last 10, current one-game losing streak. Vancouver has Thatcher Demko listed to be in net. 2-7-1 in their last 10, current 3-game losing streak. Boston, they had the New York Rangers come to town last. The Rangers actually won that game 5-2. Bruce Cassidy, I listened to him, definitely making some changes. I think a whole brand new third line on the front end anyway. And I think all those decisions are going to be in effect for this game against Vancouver. Ullmark definitely excited to be back in net after being out because of an injury. Charlie Coyle leading in production over the last 5 games with 5 points, 3 of those being goals. Brad Marchand with 4 assists in his last 5. So Boston's doing okay. They haven't had big wins over big teams lately. It seems like some of the more lower teams, but they're still winning some games. And then, again, lost to the Rangers 5-2, though. Vancouver, their struggles continue. And it's not due to a lack of effort because, they're trying. Friday they lost to Columbus 4-2. They outshot Columbus 41-21. 0-for-2 on their power play. Back and forth game. It was 2-2 after 2. And then in the third period, it was all the Blue Jackets when they scored a couple. The Canucks are now in the basement in the Pacific Division. Seattle, obviously handing Florida that first regulation loss at home. Now they've jumped over Vancouver. Vancouver's in last place. If you look at the last 3 games, though, Vancouver's 40 shots on net in this last loss. Before that, I think shots were 37 apiece. Before that, I think they outshot the other team 40-something to 20-something, I think, again. So they're not getting any luck getting that puck in the net, but they're putting it on the net, so it will come in time. But you got to go Boston here. I know they're the heavy favorite. Money line has Vancouver at plus 200 or 3.0, has Boston at minus 240 or 1.41. I'm not gonna put any money on this game, but I'm gonna pick Boston to win the game. That's my pick. Next game, Philadelphia against New Jersey. New Jersey has Mackenzie Blackwood listed to be in net. They're 4-3-3 with a current one-game losing streak. Philadelphia has Martin Jones listed to be in net. They're 3-5-2. Current one-game losing streak. New Jersey was doubled up by Nashville on Friday. Devils made a push back in the third, but it was a little too late. Not enough time left. 4-2 final for Nashville. Devils, another inconsistent team. Yeah, win 3, lose 3, win 1, lose 2. No consistency in that at all. The man advantage has been a real weak spot for this team. They haven't scored with the man advantage since November 14th. And I think since that time, they had 11 power play opportunities, 27th in the league when it comes to power play. That's something they really have to work on with special teams. Philly, they're tied near the bottom at the Metro Division with New Jersey here in this Metropolitan East matchup. Yeah, they lost to Carolina 6-3 on Friday. 5 straight losses for Philadelphia now. And again, I know I mentioned it last time, but tough hockey for Philadelphia. 2 games against Tampa, Boston, Florida, Carolina. Hard hockey. Tough hockey. This game is what they might need to get back in the win column. If Martin Jones can play at all the way that he played when they played Florida, he's going to keep him in the game and give him a chance, that's for sure. First game of 3 between these two teams. Money line plus 120 for Philly or 2.2, minus 140 for New Jersey or 1.71. Over under set at 5.5. Visiting dog here with Martin Jones in net. Again, I'd like the visiting dog with good goaltending. I'm going to do it again. Martin Jones, Philadelphia. That's going to be my pick. Then the last game, because again, the other one is postponed, but we've got Toronto against Anaheim. Anaheim, John Gibson. In net, they're 7-3-0 in their last 10, current 1-game winning streak. Toronto, Jack Campbell listed to be in net. They're 8-2-0 with a current 3-game winning streak. Anaheim blanked Ottawa 4-0 on Friday. Stolars with a nice shootout, stopping 34 shots. 1 for 3 on their power play. 4 goals coming from 4 different goal scorers. A young group here leading this Ducks team. I mean, Trevor Zegras, age 20, with 6 points in his last 5 games. Jamie Drysdale, age 19, playing really good in defense. And then Troy Terry at age 24 with a couple goals in his last 5. The Ducks are having an incredible year. 3rd in power play, 6th in penalty kill, 10 in goals for, and 6 in goals against. I don't think anyone would have predicted they'd be where they are right now. The Leafs, they're tied with Florida and the Atlantic, each with 31 points. One of the best last 10 records in the league at 8-2-0. Friday, a 4-1 win over San Jose. Tavares leading the Leafs with 5 points in his last 5 games. Goaltending has been a big positive for this team. The young Joseph Woll, his NHL record so far is a 3-0-0 with a shootout in there. And then Campbell, I mean, he's been in the net most, but he's got an 11-4-1 record. Both goalies have a 1.68 goals against average. So it's going to be a tough game for either team to win. Anaheim plays well at home. They've proven that they can play well at home, and they're playing really good hockey, and they believe in themselves. I like this Anaheim team right now. I'm going to take the visiting team to lose, Toronto to lose, home dog here to win the game. First of 2 games, money line minus 165 or 1.6 for Toronto, plus 145 or 2.45 for Anaheim. Taking Anaheim, that's going to be my pick. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a best bet and 1 parlay. The best bet, I'm actually going to look to Philadelphia to break their little skid and beat New Jersey on the money line. Parlay, I'm going to go Minnesota over Tampa on the money line and Chicago over San Jose on the money line. That's all that I'm going to do. Going to watch some football, watch some hockey, and enjoy my Sunday. Regular picks, Anaheim over Toronto, Philadelphia over New Jersey, Boston over Vancouver, Chicago over San Jose, Minnesota over Tampa, and then between the big 2, I'm going to go Washington to beat Carolina. Everyone, have a great Sunday. Enjoy it. Enjoy the sports, the football, the hockey, whatever you want to watch. Good luck with your picks. Thanks for watching. Talk soon.